I would like to split the masses into say two parts. One is the one that really can't afford, that sort of let's say the below poverty line kind of group, for which I think it's a pure simple term insurance kind of concept sold on a group basis, it will not work. I'm actually more interested in the other one that migrates from the BPL into say the middle class over a period of time, which is the lower income group, the transitioning group actually. And that I think will grow in larger and larger size over the next 20-25 years. So the whole challenge I see actually is that for the life insurance industry in particular, is there's a huge market out there, and certainly there is a need for buying life insurance, which often gets mixed with savings as well for a large part. So the market is there, the need is there, the challenge is how do we actually go and tap into it. And if I look at my past experience of having seen different players, I think things get complicated too much and unnecessarily. Just to address Nanda's point on how can we actually make things simple, we in Aegon Delegat did one thing. We said that, the notion that Indians will never buy term insurance is something we actually wanted to prove it wrong. And we did it in 2009 by coming with the first online term insurance product. And we actually did demonstrate that prices will go down by almost 60% compared to the cheapest offline product at that point in time. And after 4 years of existence, I haven't lost money on the claim side in that product. So I actually believe that sharper pricing is possible as long as we find the right way to reach to the customer, and as long as we also find the right way of making the customer understand what he or she is buying. So I think the whole theme has to keep things simple. So if you are looking at this segment, which is between the the below poverty line and the one that migrating into the middle class, I think there are a number of things that we need to do to solve this as a common challenge for us. So starting point is how do we reach the customers? So I think there are multiple avenues of reaching, which the other panelists already mentioned. We can ride on the bank network, we can use post offices, and quite a few things. So reaching the customer in terms of making the product available, I don't think that's a challenge. Cost of distribution is also something we can solve it as long as we are clear what we are trying to do. Next comes the product. I think quite often I find that in product we complicate things, we don't understand what's happening on the ground. The society is changing. It's not a society that stays on one job for 20 years. People actually do hop jobs across the breadth and length of this country, which also means that if we keep on doing products saying that you pay premium for 15 years, 20 years, 10 years, and if you even miss one premium, you lose out, I think that structure has to change if you have to do a flexible design on the product side. And also keep things simple, which is like pay any premium anytime. And it will be like an account product which stays in force as long as there is money left in the account. And bring in liquidity by saying that, again, withdraw money anytime subject to certain parameters. So that's on the product part. And the third part I would say is that the whole communication part, whether it is a selling process, whether it is the policy contracts, I actually don't think people who own life insurance policies in this room, how many actually read the policy contract and understand it. I think we need to simplify everything, starting from the sales literature, from the benefit illustration, from the policy documentation, everything needs to be simplified. I think that's an experiment, it's worth trying for all of us. Pricing is something that will follow, and I am sure there are enough actuaries who will take intelligent guesses or bets on getting a product that's meaningful and it's a customer value proposition product as well. I think once these things are sorted out, I do believe that there is a big market out there, and we are actually doing a disservice by complicating things for everyone down the line. So that's what I would like to say as my concluding remarks, and as I said, we have actually demonstrated that you can do a simple product, you can do a value proposition product, and price is actually not necessarily a barrier.